In the budget phone battleground, the Tecno Spark 20 Pro and the 20 Pro Plus definitely throw down the gauntlet, studded with a 108 megapixel main camera, 120Hz AMOLED display, and a price tag that barely nudges that $200 mark. But can it hold its own against the competition? Well, let's dive in this super short review. I must admit, I'm not massively versed in the Tecno brand, but colour me impressed so far. For all intents and purposes, the Tecno Spark 20 Pro and the 20 Pro Plus are practically identical, save some changes to the chassis and minor tweaks here and there. I think ditching the plastic backs of many of the predecessors really does help the Spark 20 Pro series out a lot here, as both of these phones rock sleek, curved frames with a choice of eye-catching hues. We're particularly smitten with the shimmering Temple Orbit Green, but the eco-friendly Magic Skin 2.0 options definitely deserve a shout out here too. Durability is not forgotten, with phones boasting a IP53 water resistance. There's even a protective case in the box to keep things looking in tip-top shape. This phone series is all about the big screens though, and given the pricing, wow, they don't disappoint. The Spark 20 Pro and the Pro Plus ship with QHD+, yes, you heard me correctly, QHD+ AMOLED panels, something that just isn't available on many budget-oriented devices, at least in this price range. Both of these 6.78-inch AMOLED panels really do shine, pun intended, with vibrant colours, and another bonus here, a silky smooth 120Hz refresh rate. You can probably count on one hand the number of devices at this price range with remotely comparable screens, and with good reason, as it is a big cost differentiator. One thing I do want to note about these displays though is that you'll find a central punch hole notch, but for whatever reason, Tecno has decided to try and integrate it into the UI by flat out copying the dynamic island integration that you've seen on recent iPhones. On these particular Tecno phones, it's used for things like noting charging and unlocking status, which is fine, but it feels super out of place on Android, especially given that the punch hole is very small in the first place. Despite some of the glitz and glamour of what appears to be high-end finishes, these are still moderately priced Android phones. The Spark 20 Pro therefore uses the MediaTek Helio G99, and the Pro Plus ships with the Helio G99 Ultimate chip. Personally, I can't really see a difference in day-to-day performance given the supposed SoC upgrades on that latter model, but you do get 8GB of RAM on both of these phones to keep things zipping along nicely. Multitasking, well, that's smooth. Gaming, well, I haven't seen any laggy meltdowns, and you will have the ability to play all of your favourite 3D titles. It is important to note though that neither of these setups are in the same league as modern flagships, but I'm impressed, and the phones also ship with Android 14 pre-installed, as they should do at this stage in time, but I couldn't find any info on the update plan moving forward, which is a little bit murky and a tiny bit concerning if you do want to hold on to these for a long period of time. Moving on though, even though the camera systems look different, both of these devices do pack a 108 megapixel main sensor that captures sharp details and rich colours in all of your images, even in some of the tricky lighting conditions. I haven't really though had long enough to properly put these systems to the test, so it wouldn't be fair for me to give a full verdict on the camera systems, but I will say the Tecno Spark 20 series is very competent in just about every scenario, albeit without having that true and real wow factor and competing with the best in the business. But luckily for you though, Tecno hasn't skimped on any of the on-device extras. You get dual speakers which pump out immersive audio, there's even 5000 mAh batteries which keeps you going all day and then some, and there's 33-watt wired fast charging which will refuel these devices in a flash. Plus there's also a micro SD card slot which is on board here, available for you to expand that storage if you do see the need to do so. So while the spec sheet does seem very good, there are some important compromises. There's no 5G on either of these models, which is a bit disappointing, so that means 4G speeds will have to suffice for you if you do want to pick them up. The camera does also lack a dedicated telephoto zoom lens here too, but at this price point I feel it's nitpicking and it's like splitting hairs for the sake of doing so. The Tecno Spark 20 Pro and the Pro Plus deliver excellent AMOLED screens, competent cameras, although not the best in the business, and surprisingly smooth performance, all wrapped up in stylish and durable packages. And I think if you're on a budget but refuse to compromise on quality, then these phones should be near the top of your shopping list. There's no denying that the Tecno Spark 20 Pro and Pro Plus are budget champions that punch far above their weight, and we love to see that here at Android Authority. And as I've just noted, you get a big screen, a big camera, big value. These phones definitely tick all of the right boxes for anyone looking for a feature-packed powerhouse without breaking the bank. I want to say though, if you do want to check these out for yourself and you want to learn more about these devices, check out the links down in the description below. Thanks for watching though, and I will catch you in the next one.